Okay, we are doing lesson 6.4, example 2, and it can be found on page 268. Okay, yesterday we learned how to determine if it was a linear function or nonlinear function by using a table. Now remember, everything you see is going to be a function. Everything we see is going to be a function. We have to decide if it's a linear function, which is a line, or nonlinear function, which is curved. So yesterday, we learned how to do that with a table. So they would give us a vertical or a horizontal table. So they gave us a table. This is a function. Our job is to determine whether it's a linear function or a nonlinear function. Does it make a straight line or is it curved? So they gave us a table and we had to look and see if our changes were constant. So +7, +7, +7. So our change in x is constant. They are all the same. So our change in x is +7. And because they're all the same, that means it's constant. So now let's look at our change in y. Our change in y, -5, -5, -5. All three of these are the same. So that means that our change in y is constant. Our change in y is -5. Now this should look familiar. Change in y over change in x. This is also known as slope or rate of change. So since our change in x is constant, they're all the same, and our change in y is constant, they're all the same, we have a constant slope or rate of change. If your change in x and your change in y are constant, so because our change in x is constant and our change in y is constant, we have a constant rate of change or a slope. That means this is a linear function. So that means if you graph these points, it will make a straight line. If you graph these points, it'll make a straight line. That's what linear means. So this is what we did yesterday. Today, we're going to actually take a look at the graphs and decide whether they're linear or non-linear. So our first one looks like this. Now this graph represents a function. It is a function. Every x or every input has only one output. So this is a function. But we need to decide, is it linear or non-linear? Linear means it is a line, a straight line. Non-linear means it's not a line or it's not straight. So we can look at this. This is definitely not a straight line. There's a curve right here, right? So this is a nonlinear function. Nonlinear function. Okay. So now we have one that looks like this. This graph is a function. Every input or every x has only one output or one y. So it is a function. And when I look at it, it looks like it's a line, right? Looks pretty straight to me. So if it's a line, if it's straight and it's a line, then it is a linear function. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. This is a function. Every x or every input has only one y or output. But we need to decide, is this a linear function or a nonlinear function? So I want thumbs up if you think it's linear, because I see two straight lines. Here's a straight line, here's a straight line. So thumbs up if you think it's linear. Thumbs down if you think it's non-linear. And I want to see everybody's thumb. If I don't see everybody's thumb, I'm going to make you get out of your seats. So let's see what you got. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Show me. Okie doke. This whole graph is a nonlinear function. If you look at the whole graph, it is a nonlinear function because it does not create one straight line. So here we have one straight line. Here, this is not one straight line. So it is a nonlinear function. So that's what we're doing today. They're going to be giving you graphs, and you need to decide if it's linear or nonlinear.